everyone, I'm Eleni Kyritsis and I'm Mote's community leader. I'm really excited today to share with you ways that you can get creative using Mote in the elementary classroom. So let's get started. Alrighty, if you are not following me already or following Mote on socials, make sure you check Mote out, but also give me a follow at Miss Kyritsis. You're able to find me across all the platforms. I'm really excited today to share with you all some fun and creative ways that you can use Mote within the elementary classroom, but even in the middle school or high school as well. My whole thing about education is bringing learning alive and engaging students through creative ways. And this is really easy to do with the help from Mote. So what I'm going to be exploring today is ways that you can support learners in the creative writing process, as well as adding sounds and voice to text to enhance student writing, using QR codes, which has to be one of my absolute favorite features that Mote has. And finally, I'm going to share with you some choose your own adventure stories that students can create. So let's go get started. First, I want to share with you all hypermotes within Google Docs. Now, I absolutely love hypermotes because they allow you to describe or say particular words to support those learners in your classroom. So at my current school, we have a lot of students who arrive from China and their first language that they speak is Mandarin. So for them to expand their vocabulary and also to be included in all the learning taking place in the classroom, I find using Mote really helps these students in my class. So what you can do is here I've simply got some text about a koala, and when you hover over the word marsupial here, you'll see that you get your normal comment emoji buttons on the right, but at the top there you can see a link button with the Mote icon. When you click on this, it allows you to record a hypermote, and what that does is you can see now that marsupials is now highlighted in light blue and underlined, and when students hover over it, they will see the Mote icon card. And now what students can do is they can simply click on it. They can hear me saying the word marsupials. And what I love is they can also translate this into their first language. So for students in my class, this is Mandarin. This helps expand their vocabulary and also helps them feel included in the classroom. Other ways that I've used hypermotes in my classroom is for spelling words. I think it's really, really helpful for students to say the words that they're learning to spell or even break them up. So you can actually capture this learning using hypermotes, and students can do this simply within a Google Doc. Now, the next feature I'm going to share with you all is a new feature that Mote has released where students and adults, anyone can record and it creates the text. And then what you can do with that text from your recording is drag and drop it directly onto your document. It also works within Google Slides and any of the other platforms that you're using Mote within. And what I love about this is it allows those students who struggle to get their creative writing and their stories down onto either paper or onto the computer. It allows them to have success in that learning process without needing the teacher there by their side to hold their hand. So I've got one specific student in mind at my school who is dyslexic and really has the most creative brain and loves storytelling. But whenever it comes to writing a story, she really struggles to get her ideas onto paper. So I'm going to show you a video here of what she does. It is me doing the recording to give you an example, but this is what she does within the classroom to help get her creative writing ideas onto the paper. Lily could not believe her eyes. This glowing mushroom stood out from all the others. Then all of a sudden, Lily turned when she heard a rustle in the bushes. When she turned back, the glowing mushroom was gone. Where did it go? Lily didn't know. So there you can see by simply clicking on and recording my Mote, I was then able to grab that text and drag and drop it into the doc. Now this has been an absolute game changer for this student. She feels included and is still able to achieve the same success as every other pupil in the class. Now, the next step that we have started doing with our story writing is we're beginning to add sound effects. So simply by using hypermotes, you can see there with the word rustle in the bushes that students can add those sounds and add them in. Mote has also included an upload button now where you can upload your own sounds. So you can also have students upload their own sounds. So here you can see you've got record, generate, or upload. So you can simply click on upload and then students can upload their sounds. This has been amazing as well. Our students who are very musical like to create their own music to go with their stories. So they're able to upload their own sounds to play in the background when they're reading their stories. And I think this is an amazing new feature that can really enhance story writing process as well. So let's check out how that works. So there you can simply hear the rustling that I just created with a jacket and a piece of paper to show the rustling that happened in the bushes. And as I said, students are really creative with this process and the things that they come up with are mind-blowing. So definitely check this out if you haven't already within your class. Alrighty, we're going to keep moving now and I'm going to share with you a little bit about QR codes and a new feature that came out a few months ago that some of you might not be aware of is you can actually now remove background noise. And being an elementary teacher, this has been an absolute game changer in the classroom. No longer do students need to all be quiet or another student has to step out of the room to record. By simply turning on this toggle button in the extension, you are able to remove background noise, which makes it really, really easy in the elementary classroom to now use Mote. I know this was a feature that many people were after, and I'm so glad it is now there. Another little amazing feature that you may not be aware of, within QR codes, you can now see that you can save it, which allows you to download it to your computer, but you can also print your QR code. Now, this just saves a few little steps and students can simply hit print. Another amazing thing is you can get these little portable printers these days off Amazon and a range of other places for like $20, $30, and they print stickers. And we have one of these in our classroom and it is so quick that students can record instructions, or you as a teacher can record instructions, simply hit print, send it to that Bluetooth through the Wi-Fi or whatever to your printer, and then print it out and stick it on a poster or on a book or whatever it is. So that print icon has been saving me so much time instead of going to downloads and everything there. So if you weren't aware of that feature is there as well. Now, talking about QR codes, I know I've shared this in the past and it is absolutely one of my favorites. I think if you're not using Mote QR codes at your school, you are missing out. QR codes really allows you to bring things to life. So in our library, we've got an iPad set up in there and a computer, and students can record their notes. And then I simply pop their QR codes onto a bookmark. And now that they can simply print them, they can cut them out and add them to a bookmark and then stick them in a book. But within our library, we have book recommendations. This allows students to listen to other book recommendations from other peers and recommend books to each other. This has been amazing for students who are hesitant to read. You can also have students record themselves reading stories and pop them in the books for younger readers. I know our first year students, when they come in from lunch, they have a bit of quiet reading time, and some of them sometimes like a book being read to them. So they just simply go get a QR code, a book with a QR code on it, and they pop their headphones on, and the older students in the school have read and recorded some of these amazing stories that they love that they can just sit down and listen to. Students can also do that for their own stories that they compose and create themselves. They can record their voices to bring their story alive. This was a little project that my year twos did last semester, and they were looking at life cycles, and students created their own version of the Very Hungry Caterpillar, but for a different type of living thing, whether it was a plant or a turtle you can see, or a fish. So they explored and researched all the different life cycles, and they popped themselves into different groups. And then what the students did was they wrote their story, typed it up, and we created a Mote QR code. Now, the reason we did a Mote QR code was these then went up on display in our hallway. And we have a lot of tours through our school, and the tours love scanning these and are able to listen to the students' stories, hear their expression, and hear the joy that comes out when they read their own stories. So a really simple thing that you can do in your classroom that enhances that whole story process and also brings joy. Also, as a teacher, it allows you to hear your students reading aloud. And this is it added to their models as well that they created for their different life cycles. Now, let's move on to choose your own adventure stories within Google Slides. Now, this is one of my favorite things to do. It does get a little bit fiddly, but I must say it is a great thing to do for different holidays and end of the year, or a whole range of things. And I normally pair students up when they're doing this, and they work on it together, and they have so much joy and so much fun when they create them together. So I've just simply created some very simple little ones here to give you some ideas. So this is called the Rainbow Unicorn, and then you can simply click on here to start, and it will take you to the next slide. Now, what I've done is you can see I have recorded the story. So when you click on the Mote, it will read the story aloud. The rainbow unicorn lived in a magical castle. He was bored of living in the castle. What should he do? So it's reading the story and creating an interactive story. Then students can click on the other Mote buttons, and it will say, leave the castle and go on an adventure, or stay in the castle and be with his friends. And what you can do is you can actually link the buttons. So when this is in presentation mode, students can simply click on this and it will go to the next slide. You can see there I've already linked it. Now, when you are doing this, you can also change these icons. So you can simply go up the top here where it's got replace image, and you can search the web and change it to different things. Oh, this is for my next one. I've already got it prepared. But you can change it and create amazing things that students can link and change their stories. And again, you can create your own buttons. You can add your voice recordings to them. And then by simply clicking on link, it can go to every slide in this presentation where you can then link it to the next slide. These are fun and engaging ways, and students love setting these up and popping on their headphones and going on little story adventures. I know when I was growing up, these were some of my favorite books to read, where you got to pick different stories and decide where the story would go. Now, with Halloween just around the corner, spooky stories are another great way. And as I mentioned earlier, you can upload your own sounds. So here you can see I have got a Halloween sound here. So this is a sound that I've just been able to grab, but you can create their own Halloween sounds. They can compose their own and then simply upload it to Mote and insert it for their spooky stories. Again, you can create and change the icon. So here you can see I've got a mushroom, but when I hover over it, I can play "In the dark, dark night lived a small boy" to create the story. So here I've got yes, and I can simply click on replace image, search the web. I can search a pumpkin icon, and then I can select which icon I would like. So I can select this one and hit replace. And then what it does is it changes that. So I've now got that there. And then when students click on the word yes, it will take them to the next slide. So students can have a bit of fun. They can create all these different sort of adventure stories that really take them on a journey that they can create fun and engaging stories. Now, I hope you have seen some fun and exciting ways that you can get creative with Mote in the classroom. Definitely check out voice to text and dragging the text onto your doc or onto your slides. This is really helpful for students, particularly if they've written their story. They can simply record their voice and then drag and drop it on. No need now for them to spend hours typing it. That will also save you so much time in the classroom. If you haven't used QR codes, check them out. They are amazing to go and use. There are so many fun ways you can do it. We do little adventures and little QR code hunts around the playground where students grab an iPad, run around and go on an adventure at the end of the term. And then finally, choose your own adventure. If you do use any of my creative ideas in your classroom and share them, make sure you share them with me and tag me. I'd love to see what you get up to. I hope you've really enjoyed my session at MoteCon, and make sure you check out all the others. There are some amazing presentations. Thanks for watching.